gene editing, advanced biohacking, and peptides. The future of health and wellness is here, and it's brimming with possibilities. Imagine breaking beyond the limits of human potential and unlocking a new era of vitality, energy, and resilience. Well, peptides could be part of the solution. Peptides are quickly gaining attraction for their powerful regeneration and healing properties. One being 5-amino-1-MQ, one of the first effective oral peptides. Research suggests that this powerful peptide can block fat storage, boost energy, and activate the longevity gene. Join me as we take a deep dive into 5-amino-1-MQ, while I'll be sharing all my research and discoveries on this peptide. So before I begin, I must start off with a disclaimer that I'm not a doctor or a licensed professional. All the information in this video is purely for entertainment and educational reasons. For any concerns or questions you may have regarding your health, please seek out a licensed professional and do not consult this video. By watching this video, you agree to the terms. Now let's get straight into this video. So what is 5-amino-1-MQ? 5-amino-1-MQ is an oral peptide that is mostly being researched to help with burning fat and weight loss. And it does this mostly by helping increase NAD, and it does increase NAD by blocking an enzyme called NNMT. And high levels of NNMT have been linked to many metabolic conditions like obesity and type 2 diabetes. Now I'll briefly touch on why an oral peptide. Because as you know or may not know, most peptides must be taken through a sub-Q injection, so injection under the skin, but 5-amino-1-MQ can be taken orally because it's small enough to be dissolved, and additionally, it can survive the harsh stomach environment, which as of now, most peptides cannot. But we are seeing many different forms of peptides now come into the research community than just injecting, such as oral, nasal, patches, creams. So I'm super pumped to see how the peptide community will evolve with time. So how does 5-amino-1-MQ works? It works by mostly blocking the NNMT enzyme, and pretty much as individuals who acquire more fat, they get a higher level of this enzyme. And too high levels of NNMT makes it very hard for the body to actually burn fat. So by blocking this enzyme, it creates a better environment for the body to use fat as energy, and additionally it helps increase NAD. So by having lower levels of NNMT and higher levels of NAD, this creates a very powerful environment to burn fat. And additionally, 5-amino-1-MQ has other longevity and health benefits. Additionally, research shows that 5-amino-1-MQ helps activate the SIRT-T1 gene. I may be saying that wrong, but that is considered the longevity gene, and that gene helps protect the body in multiple ways. But the primary effect of 5-amino-1-MQ is to work at blocking the NNMT enzyme, which leads to the body using fat as energy better and increasing NAD levels, and that has a huge downstream effect. So what are the research benefits of 5-amino-1-MQ? The biggest one is weight loss, especially in fat cells, increasing energy levels, reducing inflammation, improving blood sugar levels, reducing cholesterol, and helping with muscle preservation with age. Now let's go into research side effects. And for my research, the biggest one I'm seeing is just difficulty sleeping, especially if this peptide is taken too soon before bed, as this peptide helps increase energy, so that can cause sleep problems if someone is very sensitive or taken at the wrong time. Now let's go into the research, dosing, and cycling. And for my research, I'm studying different articles, research articles, experts, and Reddit forums. I'm seeing anywhere from 50 to 150 milligrams taken per day, can be taken all at once or split up. But for my research, it seems the best time is to be taken in the morning with food, especially fat, because 5-amino-1-MQ is oil soluble, so it needs to be eaten with fat. And additionally, taken in the morning, because this peptide can give you energy, so to prevent any sleep disturbances, is best taken in the morning. And when it comes to cycling, I've seen anywhere from 3 to 6 weeks long, with a 1 to 2 week break between if needing to cycle longer. Personally, I would do a longer off cycle, but it can be a shorter off cycle if the goal is not met. Now let's go into other peptides I would take with 5-amino-1-MQ. First would be some kind of GHRH with a GHRP, so such as like testosterone with ipamorelin, because those help create and release growth hormone. And growth hormone is powerful for help building muscle and burning fat and just overall metabolic health. Next would be either AOD or FRAG 176191, which that really targets fat burning. Next would be some kind of GLP, such as semaglutide or tirzepatide or retatrutide, because those help a lot with weight loss, blood sugar levels, and appetite control. So other peptides I would look into would be kisspeptin 10, especially if the main research goal was more for building muscle and testosterone optimization, as kisspeptin can help with that. Another would be IGF-1LR3, which is a very powerful peptide for building muscle and burning fat. And one side note is that 5-amino-1-MQ is actually often used for individuals wanting to actually build muscle and preserve muscle mass, as that is another benefit of 5-amino-1-MQ. And lastly would be PEG-MGF, because this is a great peptide for muscle recovery. So again, it really depends on the researcher's goals of using 5-amino-1-MQ. Now let's go into supplements I would take with 5-amino-1-MQ. First would be some kind of bitters, as bitters are a type of herbs that help actually manage blood sugar levels, especially before meals. Next would be some kind of testosterone booster, a natural testosterone booster, as testosterone is very important for having good metabolic health. Next would be looking into vitamin D with K2, progesterone, and DHEA. Those are all precursors to having very good hormonal health, especially done in the right dosage and the right amounts. Next would be DIM. Next supplement would be NAD and glutathione. These are crucial for having good metabolic health and to detox. I think all of these together can be very powerful to combine with 5-amino-1-MQ. Now let's go into some lifestyle tools to add to 5-amino-1-MQ. First would be animal-based diet with fasting. I think this is a very powerful way to feel nourished and at the same time have great metabolic health. Next would be corrective training or just exercise, but especially corrective training. I think this is one of the best ways to be fit and to be pain-free. Next would be some kind of hot cold therapy like sauna and ice bath, which can be amazing for your hormones as well as your metabolic health and as well as detoxing. Next would be light therapy such as red light therapy, which can be very powerful for optimizing your mitochondria, and as well there's actually red light therapy devices to actually help target fat loss, which is very, very cool. And the last lifestyle tool I would look into at the right time and for some individuals would be HRT, hormone replacement therapy. I do think there's a time and place for it, and especially combining with supplements with peptides could be very, very powerful. So what are the major pros of 5-amino-1-MQ? The first pro is that it's an effective oral peptide. The second pro is that it helps increase NAD, which is vital for many different things. And the last pro is this can be very powerful for anyone who's in a weight loss rut, as 5-amino-1-MQ blocks a major enzyme that prevents fat from being used as energy. Now let's go into the cons of 5-amino-1-MQ. The first con is that this can be a very expensive peptide, especially if you compare peptides as a whole, as there's some peptides that might be $50 a month, as other peptides might be $100 a month, whatever it may be. 5-amino-1-MQ tends to be on the most expensive side regarding the peptides themselves. The next con is I don't like the idea of blocking an enzyme, as 5-amino-1-MQ does block an enzyme, which can be good for a short period of time, but I think for a very long period of time, I don't like the idea of having something blocked in my body, but using the right strategy and context can be very powerful. So what is my overall opinion of 5-amino-1-MQ? Overall, I think it's a very great peptide. I love how it's oral. I love how it increases NAD. I love how it targets a major enzyme that can prevent individuals from burning fat. I love how it targets mostly fat tissue, which I think is very, very cool. And I plan to take it sometime. The reason I haven't taken it is mostly because of cost. Because when I look at spending money on peptides, I try to get the biggest bang for my buck. And personally, I think there's better peptides out there that give me similar benefits, especially since I'm not heavily obese or have a lot of weight loss. For example, I would only use 5-amino-1-MQ if I really want to get super cut or if I wanted to build some more muscle, but personally, I would rather spend that money on peptides such as testosterone, ipirelin, or IGF-1LR3, which are relatively less expensive and in my opinion are more beneficial for my goals. Overall, 5-amino-1-MQ can be amazing for individuals who maybe just don't like injecting and or are stuck in a weight loss rut and really need to block that enzyme for a short period of time. Overall, it's an amazing peptide, and honestly, if money was not an issue, I'd be using this peptide right now. Anyways, that is my video.